I told you guys Liverpool were playing 4D chess and you guys didn't believe me. Breaking news coming out from Fabrizio Romano that Liverpool have now agreed personal terms of Ekitike. A bid has been rejected and Newcastle have completely pulled out of negotiations with Ekitike and they have now approached Brentford for the signing of Wissa. That is a little bit of a downgrade from me from Newcastle's perspective, going from Ekitike to Wissa. But Liverpool are just one of the smartest football clubs around. They only go in for a player if it is a 100% upgrade on the first team normally. And that is going to be a statement signing. They may not get Alexander Isak. They still want him. But Ekitike will be their new number 9. Darwin Núñez is heavily linked to a move away to Napoli. Luis Diaz is apparently going to hand in a transfer request to force his hand and force his move to Bayern Munich, meaning Liverpool would need a new left winger. Buying Ekitike also has a plus side. You would save yourself about 50, 60 million pounds that you can put towards a Rodrygo signing. 4D chess we are witnessing with our very own eyes. It's honestly absolutely unbelievable. Big up to every single person. We just hit 65,000 subscribers, but we're not stopping here. The road to 70k is well and truly on, and 90% of you who watch the content on a daily basis are not subscribed. So please go down, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Some videos are hitting well over 1,500 likes at the moment, which is absolutely obscene. So if you haven't already, please go down, drop a like. That would be greatly appreciated. And let's jump straight into it. I come out of a video a couple of days ago regarding Alexander Isak and his move to Liverpool. And the stance from Fabrizio Romano was always that, you know, Liverpool will go for Ekitike if they can't achieve the signing of Alexander Isak. And that is exactly what they're doing. I told you guys, they backed Newcastle into a corner like a wounded animal, and they have come out, you know, trumps here. Understand Liverpool are advancing today in club-to-club talks with Eintracht Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike. Whilst Isak deal depends on financial decision by Newcastle as they insist not for sale stance. It then goes on to say Liverpool are also progressing on both player and club side of Ekitike. And then a BOMBA come out literally in the last 15 minutes, coming out from Fabrizio Romano again, that Liverpool have submitted an official bid to Eintracht Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike. Eintracht already informed Liverpool they want more money. Proposal rejected, but initial contact as talks continue. Ekitike has said yes, no issues on personal terms. He wants Liverpool. Now, that, for me, is a statement signing. You're going to have a front three of Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, and Mohamed Salah. Or Ekitike, Salah, and Gakpo. Or Ekitike, Salah, Rodrygo. I personally believe Rodrygo will be a Liverpool player if they sign Hugo Ekitike for me. It makes the most logical sense. There is still money out there for them to go and put on the table for a big, big player. But I think Hugo Ekitike is massively, massively underrated by a lot of people. His record in a Frankfurt shirt is very, very good. He got them back into the Bundesliga top 4. He got them back into competing, you know, with some of the best teams out in Germany. He's got 40 GA in 64 games, which is a very, very good return. Of course, before that, he was at PSG. His record overall, he's got 75 GA in 151 games. So it's roughly 1 in 2. 40 GA in 64, though, is a very, very good return. You know, he's got a good record in the Bundesliga, a good record in 29 GA in 47. He's got Champions League experience. He's got 7 GA in 12 in the Europa League, Conference League experience. He's a very experienced player, both in Europe and in the Bundesliga. And it looks like the deal is going to get done. He's pushing for the move. But what for me, you know, I told you they'd put Newcastle into a corner. And now that Newcastle have officially pulled out of negotiations, Romano has said, understand Newcastle have now already left talks for Hugo Ekitike. Deal considered off at this stage. Newcastle now focus on different targets as since Monday. Bid got rejected. Liverpool entered race. and there were no advances with the Magpies. Liverpool are now advancing. And also, Liverpool are now moving for Johan Wissa from Brentford. David Ornstein has come out saying in the last 35 minutes that Newcastle are exploring a deal to sign Johan Wissa. That's still a very, very good signing for Newcastle. Bit of a downgrade on Ekitike, I'll be honest, but he did have his best goal-scoring season last year, where he got 19 Premier League goals for Brentford. If Newcastle can get this done very, very quickly, I don't think Bremo will be leaving, and Bremo will be leaving Manchester United. But it's this Newcastle exploring move for Johan Wissa for Brentford after calling interest on Ekitike. Contract yet, but expected soon. Personal terms also need to be agreed. Availability and price may depend on the Bremo case. And then David Ornstein has come out in the last 4 minutes saying Liverpool advancing in talks to sign Hugo Ekitike. Frankfurt negotiations for 24-year-old Frankfurt forward progressing on package worth in excess of 80 million euros. France Youth International wants Liverpool, so no personal issues. That is going to be such a good signing for Liverpool Football Club. Let me tell you that right now. You're talking about a guy who got 30 plus GA last season for Liverpool, who looks, a real threat both in multiple competitions. And this leaves up plenty of money for Liverpool to go out and sign this guy. ESPN Brazil said yesterday that Liverpool have now fully entered the race for Rodrygo. They want to sign him. There's more than enough money there. Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez out the door. Ekitike and Rodrygo in the door. How are they this good? Like, how are you that good at managing and running a football club? It puts things into real perspective how poorly other football clubs are run. If they potentially finish up this season's this transfer window with Ekitike, Rodrygo, Florian Wirtz, Kirkes, Frimpong, plus they kept Mohamed Salah and Van Dijk from last year. This was coming out from last night from the Madrid zone. They normally put out the most reliable stuff. Breaking, Liverpool have open talks with Real Madrid for Rodrygo. ESPN Brazil. So they've put out the same tweet. And not only that, it looks like Luis Diaz will be leaving. Leaving to join Bayern Munich. Apparently, he really, really wants to move. I think if they can bring him, Rodrygo as his replacement, that is a fantastic bit of news. Rodrygo is a genuine option being considered at Liverpool for replacements for Luis Diaz, who is open to a new challenge. Liverpool have tracked the winger since 2016 and have continued monitoring his progress closely. Club feel that this time is right to approach his prime years. More and more stuff coming out with regards to Rodrygo. Dave OCK Cop or OC Cop is quite a reliable ITK. He said Al Nassr are willing to pay 100 million euros for Luis Diaz. The club have been working to seduce the player and his camp to come to Saudi Arabia, and they have been unsuccessful on a number of occasions, according to Sport. If you can get 100 million euros for Luis Diaz, that pretty much covers the fee you're going to pay for Hugo Ekitike, meaning the money left in the pot, you can then go out and sign a Rodrygo. I personally believe Liverpool Football Club will win the Premier League next season. They mean absolute business. They are thriving in the right direction. Right now it looks like Liverpool Football Club are going to get Ekitike. Could they get Rodrygo over the line now? If you're a Liverpool fan right now, you've got to be over the moon, surely. You look at what your football club are doing. You look at how they're acting. You look at, the players they're attracting, keeping on hold of their best players like Van Dijk and Salah, getting big money for Quansah, for Kelleher, for Diaz, for Núñez, bringing in, Florian Wirtz, one of the best playmakers in Germany, one of the best strikers in Germany, and Hugo Ekitike. And Liverpool make sure they do their research thoroughly. They make sure they research every single part of the deal when it comes to buying a player. But for me, Liverpool Football Club are cooking with gas. Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, Van Dijk, Salah, Gravenberch, McAllister, all in the same 11. It's going to be a cheat code. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.